Well, hello, and welcome to another podcast. It's Stephen Allen, Almost Daily. I'm Stephen Allen. It's Tuesday. Didn't do one yesterday, but still. Oh, let's move this chair. But still, feels like that's close enough, innit? Welcome along. We're not going to do front pages today. I'll tell you why. Look, we're 5 minutes late to do the live stream version of it. I've been rushing around today so much that when I tweeted advertising this, I called it, we're going to live steam it. I'm not sure if you could do live steaming on the internet. It might be the kind of thing that I bet you there are some ASMR wrong-uns who are into that. Just seeing some lady just, getting a steam iron. Oh, gets you right down your meridian nerve or whatever it is. That's the thing, isn't it? We call the ASMR fans perverts, but actually it's not even their fault. Some people have that thing where you get the meridian nerve gets triggered by some sounds. Do I feel sorry for them or do I realise I'll go through life never knowing that pleasure? I don't know. That's not what we're here to talk about. Proper memes in the chat already. Oh, to you as well. Joodles says, hey, PM. Am I Prime Minister now? There is a chance it is my go. We've been whipping through. It won't be long, will it, until we have to end up getting me to do it. I think I'd be an excellent Prime Minister, but it wouldn't be successful because no one wants rationality and sense and all that lot these days. You just got to be angry about stuff. That's the key to success. And I don't do that, which is why this won't be successful. So thank you very much for watching or listening to the podcast version of this. And what's the other reason I won't be successful? Didn't plan. I have not planned today's show. So I had a meeting this morning and I tweeted about live steaming this at 12 o'clock. And there was no way thinking about it because I had to go into town and pick up some stuff for the kids. They're nearly out of bubble bath. And that's, could you imagine? So instead, we're not going to do front pages. I'm sure they're all rubbish. We'll just jump into some of the newspapers. I've only just finished slicing them out. That's why I got the knife here. I probably shouldn't have shown you that on YouTube. So Proper Meme says, just started my own YouTube channel and will upload my video content there. Good. I'd say to recommend it. This is not going to turn into the successful one, but I've got the kit and I'm now happy that I'm using it. Just spent all the money in lockdown on all of this stuff. Got it put into the new shed. I'd only ever really used that camera and this microphone to prattle on Talk Radio. So actually, it's nice to be doing this. We are the OG. Says, yeah, you're the OG. You're the proper people who tune in. Oh, no, I see. Hey, PM, this is Joodle saying hello to Proper Memes. So you're talking amongst yourselves rather than interacting with the host of this darn thing. No, fine. Tweets to @Mr. Stephen Allen is another way to get in touch. What else was I going to say? I'll plug some stuff at the end. I got a busy week. But anyway, decided to, went to town, bought some bubble bath. Because you can't give your kids a bath with no bubble bath. Also, these days, you've got to make sure everything is no more tears. Do you know what I mean? Back in my day, if you wanted to get clean, you had to risk that pain in the eye. Whereas kids these days, with their Alco Pops, they don't know what suffering is, do they? With their vapes. So instead, you have no more tears shampoo and no more tears bath stuff. I always carry No More Tears shampoo with me, just in case I'm watching like a really sad film. If someone puts the film up on, and that's that montage where they get all together and the wife dies, I just get some of it, I just cram it in my eyes. Yeah? That way they don't know. Right. Mr. Stephen Allen, Almost Daily Improv. Well, no, it's not improv. I'm going to get around to doing some new... I mean, it is. I've not prepared any of the stuff. I've sliced out some of the stories that look like they could be useful. So, let's go inside the newspapers.
Let's get inside the news.
Let's get inside the news. We start off with... I didn't even get time to slice this out. In fact, we're definitely going to have to go full page on this bad boy. It's coverage of the Emmys. And here we are. Down here. Jenny Ortega and Amy Lou Wood. They're different people. No, it might not be news to you, but I didn't realise. I thought they were the same, but they're not. They're different. So Jenny Ortega also seems to be wearing the contents of a gift shop. You want to be careful. You get enough like old ladies around a seaside resort, they would strip you bare. So you've got to be very careful what's going on. I did not know that those two were different people. So turns out they are. I mean, no judgment coming from me, because I also have the face of every E-fit of a criminal that you've seen. Bald-headed guy with a bit of stubble, wanted in connection with something to do with a van. Me. Or is it? It's not me, but maybe one of them was me, and I get away with it because I blend in. Yeah, the reverse Spartacus. Right, that's that one covered. Speaking of gender-related issues, which I believe Man in a Van is. Let's try and zoom in on this one. This guy here, Michael, rough, is the caption. And this guy, a bloke, has been living in his car for nearly 3 months. Michael Atkinson is his name. 63, sleeps on the back seat of his Vauxhall Mariva. Is that a Vauxhall Mariva? Oh, how dare you. And of all the times to vibrate my phone. He's going through a divorce, and because he has a mortgage, he's not eligible for housing. He's been sleeping in his car. Has there ever been a woman who slept in a car? Because when I went through a rough breakup 10 years ago, now probably over 10 years ago, yeah, I had a couple of nights of sleeping in the car. I'll turn this off. This is one of those things where you're in a chat group, and the group decides to have chit-chat about pointless stuff. Yep, there we are. And this is why I really should mute. But if you mute notifications for like 3 weeks, and then you miss out on all the stuff. Yeah. So the Mariva, where they stopped making those in 2012, said Joodles. Well, I guess he's got an old one. That makes it worse. This guy has to sleep in his car. And I just don't think it's a thing that women ever consider you might have to do in your life. It's just never going to happen, is it? I suppose what I'm saying is, if you need to get access to someone else's bed, it's just easier if you're a lady, because as a bloke, trying to get in someone else's bed kind of is the main game anyway. The idea that you do it surreptitiously because you need to get out of your 20-year-old Vauxhall, probably not. Where's this one from? Oh, I'll leave it. That's a happy one. We'll leave it till later. Here's one that I sliced out. Zooming out. Hotel zappers bacteria risk. Alarm clock radios, phones and TV remotes are teeming with harmful bacteria and fecal matter, according to a report. So they do know the kind of hotels I stay in when I'm doing gigs. A study of hotel rooms found that the gadgets were a haven for germs. Hey, germs need holidays too, is what I'm thinking. And they've looked at luxury, mid-range and budget accommodations. And harmful bacteria, E. coli, and other ones that I can't pronounce were found on TV remotes in some 5-star suites. The thing is, I always say of these news stories, pointless. Because quite often they say there's more germs on this computer keyboard, on your phone, in the beard of men. Obviously, I was offended by that when we talked about this one on Times Radio. There's more germs in X, Y, and Z than there are on a toilet seat. Firstly, of course there are, because you bleach a toilet seat quite regularly. You don't bleach hardly anything else in your life. Not your beard, unless you want to look like some kind of weird 80s pop star weird thing. Or the architect from The Matrix. Or you don't bleach your keyboard, but search the darn thing again. So loads of things. You don't bleach your phone. Sure, it would invalidate something or other. So the point is, you can't go around bleaching things. The toilet seat will have lower bacteria than most other things. And also, you can't swap them either. You can't, this keyboard's got more bacteria than a toilet seat. I shall use a toilet seat instead. You won't get much typing done. And if you decide to take a dump on your keyboard instead, I don't know, I still feel that you've been making the situation worse. None of this research is useful, is what I'm saying. Presume that if you're in a hotel and other people may have touched a remote control, it might have germs on it. No? Okay. Is life too easy when you're me? It's not. Where do we get to in the comment section? You'll still be more prepared than the government. I think if I were PM, I would be more prepared than the government. Didn't Claire's accessory just go bust? We now know who bought the... Yeah, she looks like she's run through Claire's accessory, Jenny Ortega. No, this is very Louis Schaefer. How dare you? This is not a Louis Schaefer thing. No, this is a podcast formed of my radio show, which will be on All Hit Radio at 1 o'clock today. That's another reason why I was late to do the podcast. Most of this research will be used on that radio show, so you could just listen to it when it's polished. Rod Stewart. I don't think he got a mention on the show, actually. In the notes, Rod Stewart has his own 100-metre running track to help him stay in shape. I'm all for the elderly people staying in shape. It's good for you. Walking's good for you at that age. So doing 100 metres walk might be better than 100 metres running, but, if that's what you're into. Also, you can kind of run 100 metres anywhere, couldn't you? It feels like, do you need a running track to run? I do 5Ks 3 times a week, and I don't own a 5K track. I'm never going to own a 5K track, am I? Nah. But you don't need to do that. You can go for a run. And if you can't find an area near you where you can do 5K, you can find 100 metres. There's bound to be a cycle track where you could go for it. Do you know what I mean? The idea that you need, it says here, hot legs. But he is, after all that running. The Pope is in the news. The Pope is at war with Elon Musk over the billionaire being headed for trillionaire status. The pontiff, who turned 70, why are we age-shaming him? He's still young for a pope. At the weekend, unleashed his wrath at the Tesla boss and the rest of the world's wealthiest people. There is an argument that this is a problem with the way that our world works. If wealth earns more money than work does, you're kind of going to end up being in trouble. Do you know what I mean? If someone can invest money that earns more than you actually going to work, then you're in trouble. But also having a fight with a pope, difficult, isn't it? Because even if you win, is he going to be like, don't pick on me, mate? My dad's bigger than your dad, is what you say at school level. When you get to the pope level, it's like, I know a guy. He's going to you will be smoten. You've got to be careful. Also, we've not talked about this, but this new pope being American really clears things up, doesn't it? There's no issue of the pope not knowing exactly the right word that was required. Because with the last one, there was that issue about the F word to describe homosexual people, but it was like the Latin word for, or the Greek, I don't know, the Italian word for it, one of those. And it's like, is it as bad as we think it is? There's no English-speaking person's going to use that F word, unless he's from Boston, I suppose. There's a chance he'll still say it. Before we move on, let's go through some more of these. The comic section's going for it, but probably not even about me. They have no fecal germs, says Proper Memes. Or the camper van, is that what you're talking about? There's a big chat there. So this is like the work in progress show for your radio show where you test the material. Are we being used? No, you get the picture version of it. All Hit Radio, which may well be, it's online at the moment, but launching DAB very soon, I believe. It's not going to get pictures because they can't do webcams, because in the modern day world on radio, no one has a centralized studio. Like boomer radios like this as well. There's no studio. It's just there are loads of people who've got their own studios these days. So I broadcast from sat exactly here. You're getting the same thing, just better. And Angela Rayner went from a carer job to 5 million in 10 years. Why couldn't you have a 5K track? You know what? Yeah, I reckon I could. If I diddled the stamp duty system, I reckon I could do well. Yes, PM, I'm here for it. Let's let Steve sift through the comments. Great. Yeah. PM says, I think Steve steals our jokes. We'll have to listen, won't you? To All Hit Radio. See what you get in, see if you get used. This one didn't worry me. It's meant to. Fears of crop plot carnage. You try it. Fears of crop plot carnage. If the Swiss wristwatch strap shop shuts, which shop still sells Swiss wristwatch straps? Sneaky superpowers are feared to be planning to leave the UK starving with crop-blasting drone attacks. Oh no! Experts warn that the weapons are so sophisticated they could wipe out fields of produce in 10 minutes. They'd target a crop, they'd be like, cabbage, and they'd sort it out. And what they've not considered here, Russia and China, is that if they try and attack us by attacking our crops, most people are on Manjaro, so they won't notice, would they? They'd be like, oh, we're not eating. No. Also, if you take out a crop, you're not taking out vegetables. Have you met us? Come on. If you wipe out all the fruit and veg, Scotland still survives. So think it through. China, if that is your real name. Migrants are reportedly taken off the first planned deportation flight to France last night because of last-minute legal challenges. No. How surprising. Did anyone not see this coming? I was reading this and I was thinking, isn't it odd that they're being flown back? Because these are people who've arrived by boat and then we're going to fly them back. Aren't we contributing to global warming? So we should be using boats on the way back, should we not? Because of Ed Miliband, if you're watching the show, and I'm sure you're a big fan, wouldn't this be the best? You know, Greta travels everywhere by boat because she doesn't want to impact the climate change thing. So we should be sending people back one in, one out, use the same boat. Because there's a boat. If people have arrived over here, you've definitely got a boat, so you could use that. You're right. I should be Prime Minister. I'm literally coming up with better ideas than they have, and that is not saying much. Proper Means in the comment section says she sells seashells at the seashore, and the refugees come and harass her out of a stall. One in, one out. I mean, look, there are clips of me talking about this. As soon as it broke, I did point out, it's not going to change the number, is it? mathematically, you don't have to go far in this infinite series of 1 in, 1 out. If you've got an infinite series of 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1, and you try and sum it up to infinity, best case scenario, it equals 0. Yeah? Depends where you stop it. There is a theory that you could have to average the different outcomes. So it would be half if you're looking at infinite series. But still, what you want is 1 in, more than 1 out. Although I suppose the ones who are coming in, the ones you send out are the ones you don't want. The ones you come in could be ones you were going to take anyway. Wasn't there a system where, is it that we're going to have the same system with Germany, 1 in, 1 out? I don't know. That feels like we're going to get swizzed. Because everyone we send back to France could just go to Germany and come back that way. No. I've not looked into it. Proper Meme says another flight was supposed to take off today and no migrants in it either. Well, as long as we're practicing the flying. My theory was we shouldn't be using planes, but we should be sending people back. And what they're doing is not sending people back, but they are using planes. Feels like they're doing the deliberate opposite to what I'm suggesting. Woman eyes old record. Uzbekistan will ask the Guinness Book of Records to name a resident as the world's oldest woman. 130 years old. Nah. Really? 14 years older than Ethel Caterham of Lightwater, Surrey, which is weird because it's not that far from Caterham, is it? She's 116. Currently, technically the oldest person. I always love these oldest person stories because it always goes the same way. Someone journalist not doing well in their career has to go down and interview them. And they're like, so what's the secret to living so long? As if they would know. Do you know what? Selection bias, isn't it? Does it always say something like, I drink a bit of whiskey every day, I smoke every day, never did me any harm, so that's how I live to being over 100. That's how I live, being over 100. And they write that, like the key to living long, drinking and smoking every day. Statistically ignoring all of the people who drank and smoked every day and died in their 50s. That really pulls down the average of whether that's good advice or not. But yeah, why not just get that anecdotal advice? Because you don't want the statistical advice, do you? We all know the statistical advice is don't enjoy anything. That's the key to living a long while. But you don't want to hear that. So instead, there's a woman who's I don't believe that this lady, Umravova, if the Swiss wristwatch strap shop shuts, she's been declared as 130. I think what happened was she died in her 60s and someone swapped her for an identical one, like you do with fish. It's more believable than she's 130, isn't it? Bad news for Christmas, by the way. Not bad news for Christmas. Like, hey, what are you getting for Christmas? I wrapped up some bad news. Brits have been warned bird flu and crazy weather could see turkey off the menu this Christmas, which is going to change things, isn't it? Because normally what happens is when we get near Christmas, the newspapers are full of stories telling us that we don't like turkey because it's too dry. But this year, when we don't have it, I bet there's loads of story about how we miss it. Oh, I mean, I think there's a strong chance you could just get a chicken and sell that instead and say, oh, look, we've got this new, they're slightly smaller, but they're not as dry, the turkeys this year. Like, if it's got all the feathers on, I reckon I could tell the difference. But if it's just in a burger, if it's just a crown, I don't think I'd know the difference, if I'm brutally honest. Bernard Matthews, if you are listening, and I'm sure he's a big fan of the show, feel free. Knock yourself out. It is the worst part of Christmas, isn't it? Not the turkey on Christmas Day is like just when you can do turkey. Then you've bought enough turkey that you have to do a week's worth of eating turkey, and the longer it takes, the drier it. This is the only reason we eat too much on Christmas Day. It's because, you know, if I don't get through it now, I'm going to have to suffer this absolute git for a week. Any turkey I don't eat now will come back to punish me in sandwich form over the next week. And that's why you do it. Joodle says, remember the turkey shortage last year? That didn't happen either. It's all still beep. Well, we'll see, won't we? We'll see if crazy weather and bird flu. Oh, look at the rush hours in. That was my slicing out of this news story. In Penguin News, I didn't even get to read this one fully when I was prepping, but I just knew there'd be a good... Surely this has got an easy, good take on it. Penguins don't always mate for life, and they can divorce or even have affairs, according to scientists. That scientist, what were you trying to prove? Someone who's absolutely sick of hearing the story. Penguins mate for life, and what will happen is the male penguin will find a perfectly round pebble, and give it to the... Firstly, there aren't that many perfectly round pebbles. I bet you if you see the actual pebbles they find, some of them are a bit wonky. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, in theory, the engagement ring has some really expensive 3 months worth of your salary, whatever it's meant to be, diamond. No, that does not always happen because not everything is ideal. Not everyone is scoring a 10 on the dating charts. Do you know what I mean? If you're an absolute stunner, you might end up with exactly the diamond you've always wanted. Some people might end up with cubic zirconia. Do you know what I mean? So there are I don't want to say munting penguins, but I think that might even be a type of penguin. The munting penguin, the pebbles they're given, ouch. But what are you going to do? Slim pickings. So contrary to popular belief, the endearing black and white seabirds are not monogamous. I think I know what it is. It's that these penguins, and again, not to be offensive, kind of all look the same. So when you look at a picture of a penguin and another penguin, you go, oh, they've been together for a while, haven't they? Look at them. They've mated for life. And then he toddles off, another one toddles up. You're like, yep, still, that's not technically cheating, is it, if they look the same? If they look the same, it's not technically cheating. And someone said that to me once. Oh, it was Lembit Opik. There we go. I've used to work with him, and he did tell some stories about the cheeky girls, but I will not repeat any of them here. Joodle's enjoying the idea of a munting penguin. I think some of them are. I can't tell because our human brains can't identify the details of a penguin. I don't know what's a hot penguin. I mean, I guess none of them are hot penguins. I knew that would be a good story. I'm going to move that to one side because that's definitely getting used on today's radio show. That's the thing. Which is on at 1 o'clock, so I better stop prattling around. Bags of cash for losses. The average value of a handbag and its contents has rocketed by a third. Inflation, man. Over the last 4 years, the theft claims as high as £22,000. What? What? Typical claim this year for the combined loss is £1,633, marking a 34% increase. So, I'm going to read this one because I'm shocked by that. Carolyn Scott from the Aviva insurer said, it's amazing how much we carry around in our handbags. Amazing. I don't have that in my house. Gadgets such as phones, tablets, more personal items such as jewellery, sunglasses and beauty products. I get away with not all of those. The jump in claims could also be explained by people investing in more expensive handbags. Investing is the wrong word. You mean spending. Investing is different, isn't it, to spending? Like, I want to invest my money wisely. I'm going to invest it in a handbag, but you're going to end up selling it on Vinted afterwards for less. If you want to invest, buy gold. And I say that realizing this YouTube channel has not been sponsored by one of those gold people yet, so I'll keep that to myself. But investing is when you can sell it for more later. Is that true of handbags? I don't know. It's like saying, yeah, I'm going to invest in a car. No. In fact, do you know what? The point here is that if someone nicks your bag and your phone and your beauty products, all that, you top that up and that's £1,600. If I was driving to your house and someone nicked me and my bag with my laptop in and my car, it still wouldn't be worth £1,600. So I don't think I'm doing very well at life. And that's that story there. Joodle says my handbag is worth 74p without my phone in it. I've got an Android phone. I saw a video online the other day of someone nicking an Android phone and handing it back. The car, and we've talked about this back when Headliners was the thing. I'm fortunate that we're a 2-car family. The main car, that one is worth more than £1,000, thankfully. But I kept my old car, an absolutely knackered Yaris, because it's got 0 road tax on it, so why throw it away? And the other day, if you watch the live show, that's why my fingers were dirty. I was trying to fix the headlight, and I've still not done it. But I went on We Buy Any Car a while ago just to see, and it was worth £230. It's nice to know that I drive that car to stand-up comedy gigs, and on the way back, if I've been paid in cash, I'm more than double the value of that car. Some vintage designer handbags really go up in value, especially limited editions. Well, then why are they getting nicked? Because if it's going to become worth more, you keep it at home, wouldn't you? Next to your gold. And if you are interested in buying gold, just wait until this YouTube channel gets sponsored by one of those ones. No, because if it's worth, no one goes, I'm just going to take me gold out with me to look good. Elba's ice, Elba's ice bath ban. Why are the headlines? Do they know I'm just nicking their stuff for the podcast these days and they're deliberately making headlines that you can't say? If a Swiss wristwatch strap shop shuts, I know what the newspapers are going to do. Absolute gits. Idris Elba will never use an ice bath over concerns for his modesty, the Golden Globes winner, humble brag, refuses to consider the baths favoured by athletes and celebrities because he is worried about shrinking. Yeah, I know. And I think, I don't want to go with any stereotype. I want to go with a stereotype here. I think he could probably handle a colder bath than I could. Depends about you. Your starting position is very much important when it comes to issues of ice baths and shrinkage. So I'm on the same page as him, but he could probably get down to a colder temperature than I could without it being a problem. I don't understand why you would go to the gym and lift weights and all that, and you're trying to make this bit bigger, you're trying to make everything bigger, and then you go and have an ice bath that makes the one thing smaller that you don't want to be smaller. Do you know what I mean? It's not the only reason to go to the gym, but in general, it's about looking better to be more sexually attractive. And you achieve that by making that smaller. It's entrapment, isn't it? It feels like you're doing a disservice. It's like when people used to complain about Wonder Bras, that they're promising more than you deliver. Go to the gym, make everything muscular and big and ripped, and then shrink that, and then, oh, what an absolute letdown. So that's why I don't do that. It's not the only reason I don't do that. It's a really good reason to not do that. This one, again, I didn't read it a lot, but it had a rude word in it. 2 Pizza Express employees served up an extra slice after hours with a video. Is that now a euphemism for doing something naughty? Served up an extra slice. Is that what it... All right, fancy an extra slice. What does that mean? You'd be better off ordering the dough balls. That's sexier, isn't it? Saying, do you fancy some of my dough balls? Look at the levels of zoom I've got in this. The pair got American hot under... Oh, God, they're just going to do this under the whole thing. Oh, dough balls is in the picture as well. Yeah. The pair got American hot under the cut. Sloppy Giuseppe. I don't know what the rest is. Basically, some people who work there did some rumpy-pumpy at Pizza Express. And I bet they didn't sweat. No, hang on, that's someone else. Childhood silliness. Here we are. Laughing a lot and not taking yourself too seriously are top signs of being young at heart. That, and also, as we talked about recently, I did a blood test and I'm young at heart. I've got younger than my actual age, heart age, when they did the cholesterol test. So, yeah. That's not the young at heart people care about. Are you young at heart? Well, according to my good and bad cholesterol levels, talking about blood tests, this is like a Lewis Schaefer thing. Laughing a lot, not taking yourself seriously. Good. Dancing like no one's watching. Playing on the swings and watching kids' TV shows as an adult. Also help us stay young. I have no choice. I've got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. And it's difficult. I try and be up to date with the news, but I also have spent way more time watching Paw Patrol. I'm all over that. Oh, I know what's happening more in Adventure Bay than I know what's happening in Gaza. Probably for the best. There's a list of the things. Oh, I have to zoom in for this bad boy. Not take yourself seriously. Laughing easily. I don't know if I do that. I think today's episode has definitely proved I do not take myself seriously. Dancing without caring. I dance and I don't care. 2 separate things. Being spontaneous. Going down a slide or swinging on a swing. I've done that, but again, that's because sometimes when we go around the soft play things, my lad's like, can you come down with me? And one day I'm going to get wedged. I'm a big lad to be doing that. It's not. I only ever go down on one of those tube slide things when it's an area that's got a cafe. As long as they've got butter nearby, I'll get out of it. Still celebrating birthdays. Oh, I don't know if I do that one. Singing along to songs, enjoying kids' TV or films, and dressing in bright colours. Nope. Although, I don't have them on now. I did... This year, start of the summer, I bought a pair of 16 ankle socks because I still think they're worth wearing. I know that they're not trendy. And my missus said to me, oh, they're a bit bright. Is this a midlife crisis? I want my midlife crisis to be more than 16 pairs of socks. I was looking forward to a motorbike or ponytail. An affair's a bit much with someone at work because I work on my own, but still, I'll do what I can. But I don't want to be wearing fancy socks as my midlife crisis. Joodle says, just need to say, need to say women are horrible. Oh, that. If I want to go full Schaefer, I need to say women are horrible. No. I think if you Lewis Schaefer, women are horrible. I think if you're bringing with you the motivation to be horrible, it's not really their fault. The Tinder swindler. The Tinder swindler. If the Swiss wristwatch shop shuts, featured in the Netflix show, has been arrested. This 35-year-old posed as an heir to a diamond fortune to gain the trust of women, no space, and persuade them to part with huge sums of cash. He's believed to have gained £7.6 million, and he was detained on an Interpol red notice after arriving in Georgia. I bet she was up for it as well. Firstly, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? If you are the kind of criminal that gets a TV show made about you, you're going to get arrested for something. You probably are wrong. But the reason I like this story is it reminded me of one of the stories we covered on Headliners. Apparently, more men are Tinder swindled than women, but it's in the news when it happens to women because it's always more money. So it happens less often, but for some reason, women who are liable to this level of online swindling really go for it, and they like sink all the dosh in there. £20,000, £70,000, kind of all that stuff. But it happens to bloke more often, but on an average of £2,000 to £3,000. And I think this is my take on it. I think I know why one's a news story and one's are not. It's because blokes aren't going to report that being swindled out of £2,000. If you have a relationship and it costs you £2,000, that's kind of what, even if you're not being swindled, it costs you a bit anyway. If you totted up over a couple of years worth of dating, you're probably £2,000 out of pocket. So if you then realise, oh, hang on, this person online, I thought we had a relationship and they cost me £2,000. So I guess we had a relationship. And you just crack on to your next one, don't you? My God, I'm so close to doing a Schaefer thing here. So we'll move on. Thank you very much for watching today's one. I kind of enjoy them more when they're not prepared, but that's a bad sign, isn't it? But anyway, we've covered some of the news stories. Didn't need front pages today. What do I need to plug? I'm in Boreham Wood testing out some new material tonight in London, back in North London. There is a story I'm going to try to tell about when I was in trouble with the police in North London. We'll see if that makes material. And also Thursday and Friday on GB News at 11 o'clock, doing newspaper reviews. On Saturday, I'm doing stand-up comedy in Battersea. Oh, look at me staying relatively local. That'll be all right then. And I think we're up to date. What's it? Crikey, Steve, says Joodles. Why, what have I done? You can't just say that in the comments when I'm about to leave. What's happened? You let me know while I'm just wrapping up. All Hit Radio on at 1 o'clock. I better go and get that sorted pretty soon. We'll do another one of these on Thursday. Try and do it at 12 o'clock. That's my new plan. We'll see. A bit easier on a Thursday. And social media. Track me down on social media at Mr. Stephen Allen on X, Threads, Blue Sky, but I'm not saying anything since it's been a bit cesspitty over there. Instagram, TikTok. Oh, Proper Meme says, any Cornwall gigs? No. The problem is with Cornwall, and no offence to you and your people if that's where you are from, you need to build a motorway. Do you know what I mean? By the time you get to Exeter, it's all going well. And then you head down whatever road it is beyond there. It's no good. A38, is it, or something? It's no good to me. So they don't really pay enough to travel all the way down to Cornwall. You do a gig in Liverpool or wherever. I've got one of those coming up soon. It takes you half the time to get there than it does to get down to Cornwall. So there is that. And obviously I'm not going to fly. I'm not a migrant being detained or something. So we'll look into that, and you're fully up to date. Fully plugged. Get subscribed. And until next time...